Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Sunday, the 27th day of April, 2025. It is the second Sunday of Easter. It is the 8th day and the conclusion of the Easter Octave of Easter. So 8th day, we have 42 days still to go within the Easter season itself. Today is, again, brings to conclusion this glorious week, this first of the week of weeks, again, in which we celebrate as a solemnity the great and wonderful realization of what resurrection means for us and what it should mean for us. This morning, I am in Castle Hayne, North Carolina, down by almost the coast. This is at St. Stan's Church, and we just had confirmation this morning. So wanted to get this in before we have to drive all the way back now to Raleigh after this. Not too far away. It was a nice drive early this morning. But the second Sunday of Easter, always every year given over to Thomas and his doubts. Again, it is not Thomas doubting and not wanting to believe. It is Thomas doubting with a desire to believe. As strange as that sounds, as kind of contradictory as that sounds, Thomas is a doubt that is in search of truth. It's in search of reality. It's in search of authenticity. It's in search of reality. And that is why basically he says, I want to touch him. I want to hug him. None of the other apostles seem to have done that in any other appearances. But Thomas wants that physicality. Thomas wants that intimacy back again with a friend who he believed was dead and whose mission had died with him. All of a sudden now, this news of him risen and appearing is not too much for him to believe, but he wants to believe. Again, this is the whole question for us. Is it still too much for us to believe? Do we still just want to go back to being people of penance and penance and penance, constantly going to the sacrament of penance, constantly thinking confession is the highest of all sacraments, because it isn't. Eucharist is. And Eucharist is only possible because he is no longer on that cross. He has come down from that cross and he is risen. And that makes all the difference in the world. And we have to kind of believe that, or else basically our faith is in vain and everything else is in vain. Again, to have crucifixes sometimes within our churches that remind us again of what Christ did for us in dying on the cross is really turned around, because it's what we did to Christ in putting him on the cross. And really what Christ does for us is not just die on a cross, he rises. And he rises and the world is changed forever. He rises and the course of human history is changed forever. Again, death, darkness, and sin do not like this. And they will try to tell us again and again that nothing has changed, and that you might as well basically go ahead and doubt anything has changed or anything ever will change, and you might as well basically just go back to life as it was. But resurrection tells us again and again that life is forever changed, because Christ dared to face that which undoes us most, and that which makes us less than human, and that which stands in the way basically of our own happiness. Christ faces that and says no more, and Christ destroys it. And because of that, life is different. Life is meant to be lived differently. On the second Sunday of Easter, again, any doubts that we have need to be reconciled. Any doubts that we have need to be addressed. Any doubts that we have need to be let go of. Because if we don't, then we just basically go back to same old routines. And to a church sometimes that wants to basically just keep us in these kinds of routines of I need penance because I need priests to help me with penance. No, that's not what it's about. We need to be people who gather around a table. Yes, with people who lead us in a gathering around that table, people who gather around a table to eat and drink. He who lives forever, he whose reign is forever, he who has changed again the course of human history. May we begin to live that in the rest of these 50 days of Easter. And may the reality and truth of that dispel any darkness, any doubts, any fear from our lives, and allow us, once this Easter season is concluded, to continue living in resurrection, to continue living in your life, and to continue living in that world and that promise which God so freely gives us. Continue blessed Easter season, St. Francis and people of God, and may the Lord, as always, give you his peace.